Hey everybody, how you doing? Dashin Dave here again. Please click that subscribe button and hit that like button. Thank you very much. Hey guys and gals, it's been a long time. Let's get the hard news out of the way. Egg is officially retired. I bought Egg last November, so had him for just about a year now. When I bought Egg, I had to put on a set of tires and an alternator to get him running. And since then, especially starting this spring, I've run him exclusively. The dude has made me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But he's got other issues with 196,000 on it. Just real recently here, I put a new starter in and a new battery. I roached the first set of tires because I didn't get it aligned, so I got it aligned, and then another new set of tires. I'm only into him about 2,000 since last November. Been a really good car, but it needs $1,500 worth of brakes and front end work and strut work and bearings and so on and so forth, and I just can't justify that cost for a car with 196,000 on it. I mean, we are really hard on our cars in the delivery gig, and you know what goes next, drop a valve or whatever. So I am going to try to sell him for about $500, being completely upfront with the work that's needed. You know, somebody buys him for $500, puts in $1,500 of work with all the work that I've put into him. A good little scooter, you know, maybe for a high school student or something like that. It's not a family car or anything, or cruise down the highway car, but you know, maybe I can get just a little bit out of him and pass him on to someone else. So, how have things been going since we last met? Been going pretty good in the Ames, Iowa market. The summer slowdown was nowhere near as slow as it was in previous summers. In fact, it actually picked up some. Now, you might remember me talking about the Iowa State University college kids being our bread and butter, you know, during COVID and especially coming out of COVID. Well, that all changed, you know, in 2023. You know, nobody's getting $1,400 stimulus checks. The dining halls were open back up in the residence halls, you know, so the kids just weren't spending near like they were. Talking to other Dashers, we don't go to the residence halls near as much as we used to. You know, so that was a big chunk of what we lost when we came out of COVID. However, in my market, the university town, when the kids left for summer break, that was a huge drop. Well, we did not have them as a customer base this spring, so in the summer of 2023, when the kids left for summer break, we did not lose them as customers because we didn't have them in the first place. Okay, so the summer slowdown in my market was not near as bad as it has been in previous years, and in fact it even picked up a little bit, and I think that's because our competition of dashers and deliverers as college students weren't there anymore. So yeah, it was a good summer. Uber Eats in my market has all but crashed, as I'm certain a lot of you have seen that their rates have really gone down. Plus, we're not getting the COVID era gasoline mileage pay boost, okay? And the mileage rates, you know, the distance, Uber would tack on some extra for some high mileage delivery gigs. That seems to have gone away. We are seeing $3 and $4 base pay only Uber jobs, which we never saw before. Everything was in the 8 to 11 to 12 or higher range of pay. You just don't see that anymore in my market. Grubhub. It's my understanding that there's still a decent Grubhub demand in my market. However, that usually takes place during my shifts that I work during, you know, peak lunch rush. And I turn Grubhub off on that hour or so because I'm on the catering program, you know, with Doordash, the LOP program, and I don't want to pause Doordash while I'm doing a Grubhub during that hour or so and miss a cater. So during the lunch rush, I have one app on, and that's Doordash and Doordash only. Catering jobs, again, are hit or miss in my market. I'll have 2 or 3 a week or 2 or 3 a day and then not have any for the next 2 weeks. But it is nice to see those payouts when they happen. I just recently, about 2 weeks ago, broke my own personal record. It was $127 for a catering payout. I delivered over $1,000 of Chipotle burritos to the Vet Med College here on campus. Total payout was $199. Walmart, Spark Delivery, still doing that. It's a good gig, but we had a slump there. I'm not sure what's happening. I didn't see anything on the YouTube videos, didn't really search it out, but it appeared that for a time there, Walmart Spark Delivery went down to one base pay for 3 deliveries, because they increased the delivery maximum from 2 to 3 deliveries, potentially, depending on the order. And so base pay in my market for a single Spark delivery appeared to be right around the $7 range, no matter where it was going or how big it was, if there was no customer tip. Well, when you got a double, the base pay was still $7. Now that's $3.50 per job base pay. And if there was no tip, 2 orders, 10 miles, yeah, who's doing that? Okay, then when they started the triple orders, that seemed to remain the same. $7 base pay, 3 jobs. Now, usually there was a tip involved, $2 or so. Somebody was, throwing us a bone there. But anyway, then all of a sudden it changed again, and now it seems to be the base pay has gone up dramatically. People seem to be tipping better. Not sure what went on there, but for about 2 or 3 weeks, almost a month here this summer, I did no Spark deliveries. They were just all trash. Now they're coming across at $15, $20, $22, well worth your time and effort. All right, let's take a look at my Doordash numbers. 4.98 customer rating. Had a 4.84 for over a year. Finally got that 1 star knocked off. 4.98. 64% acceptance rating as we speak. I am playing the 70% game, trying to stay in that top tier of priority for orders. It does appear to work in my market if you put the effort into it. Yeah, every once in a while you have to do a little, as we call it, community service. A 375 or a 475. I usually limit those to during slow periods. And, if I pick up at McDonald's a 475 order that in my market, due to the location of the McDonald's and all that, and it's literally around the corner, 0.5 miles, 475, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. 91% completion rate. Now that's below 95. I have to be at 95% completion rate at the end of the month in order to stay on the LOP program. That's about the only real metric that you need to be concerned about. So, I play the game where if I get a really bad order, I may accept it and then unassign it so I get my acceptance rate, but I take the hit on the completion rate. So, it's 91%. I usually like to stay right around 95, get up to 100. Then I've got 5 to give to get back down to 95, yada, yada, yada. I'm a little low right now, so I am going to have to do a little bit of a hell week near the end of the month and take and complete just about everything to get up to that 95%, because I've got to be on the LOP, have to be on the catering. And over on the right, you see 6,491 lifetime deliveries on Doordash. Okay, coming back to the acceptance rate at 64% here. When I'm at 70% near the end of the month, I really do not care that I'm Top Dasher. The only benefit to Top Dasher right now in my market is Dash Now anytime you want. Doesn't affect me. I schedule out every day my shifts that I intend to work. Being Top Dasher does not mean anything to me, but being in the 70% zone does put me in the top tier of priority offers in my market. And like I said, right now that seems to be working really well for me. And interestingly, this ties into something new that Doordash has just put out as of Friday. Updates to how you earn. Hi Dave, we've made several improvements to the recently announced Earn by Time mode, introducing more occasions for customers to leave you a tip, and launched 2 new benefits to help you make more money. Read on to learn about these new earnings experience updates, and then hit the road to try them out. Earn per offer mode updates. Best for dashers who value more flexibility. Get paid for the total offer instead of per delivery. Now I want to break in here that this has been in my market for some time now. When you get a double, and I know a lot of people interchange double and stack, but let's be clear, they're 2 different actual terms. A double is when you get 2 offers at one time on the offer screen. A stack is when you get a single offer and then they add an offer or stack an offer onto the order. Okay, so a double is when you get two at once. A stack is when you get one and then they add on another. Okay, in my market, I've even had triples here recently. Those turn out pretty good. Okay, but on we go. Get paid for the total offer per delivery. You will continue to get offers which can include single or multiple orders, 2 or more, but these will now have a total offer base pay starting at $2. This would mean, for example, that an offer with 2 orders could have a total base pay of $2 plus any tips or promotions on top. Okay, so I would get an offer on my screen. Base pay in my market since the day I started Doordash was $2.75, okay? Then they would add an order, stack an order onto my offer screen. That order might have a base pay of only $2 plus the tips, okay? Now, if I got a double order in my market, and I don't know when this started, but each base pay was $2. So if you've got a double, it would show a total base pay of $4, not $2.75 times 2. Okay, so in my book, that's a pay cut. All right, so now what they talked about seeing the total offer instead of per delivery, they started this recently in my market. You would get a double order. This did not apply to stacked orders, okay? There you would still see each individual delivery. But on a double order, when you made the first delivery, it said, oops, something wrong, and it would not show you the total for that order. It was only when you completed the second delivery of the double that you saw the total base pay. And on the initial offer screen, it would show 2 jobs, 2 pickups, 2 deliveries for, say, $8. Okay, so that you just do the math, that's $4 average per. Is it worth your time? Going all the way across town? No. Staying in the Duff Zone within a mile or 2 range? Yeah, maybe that's a good one to take. So anyway, they've been showing that in my market here recently, where you don't see each individual delivery payout on a double, you just saw it at the end. If you had a stacked order, you would see the first delivery total, then the second delivery total. Nothing changed there, except that second offer, the stacked offer, may only be a $2 base pay instead of a $2.75. So the first order would be a $2.75 base pay. The second order would be $2 base pay. On a double, that comes across at once, $4 base pay, $2 each. As of Friday the 13th in my market, there is no $2.75 base pay on a single. It's all dropped down to $2. So we just had a 75-cent pay cut in my market on single offers. And now we read on a double order, where 2 orders come across on your screen at one time, it's $2 base pay for those 2 jobs. How is this making me more money, Doordash? Okay, so back in the past, 2 orders, $2.75 base pay per order was $5.50 base pay for that double or that stack. When Doordash changed the base pay to only $2 per order on a double order, now you're down to $4 for that double order, those 2 orders, $2 per each. That's a $1.50 cut right there. And like I said, and I'm not sure when it actually went down, when we get double orders in my market, it was only $2 base pay for a total of $4 for 2 deliveries, or $6 for 3 deliveries. Now we're down to $2 only for both deliveries on a double. So that's a $2 pay cut in my book. But see orders with higher tips more frequently. With this update, Dashers who earn per offer will more frequently see offers with higher tips. Okay, so this is what they're telling us here. Number 1, stay above 70% to get priority on high paying orders and higher tips. Now they're also telling you that just by being in your market, the fact that we've cut your pay down to $2 for a double order, you will now see more frequently high paying offers. Come on, man, this ain't right. This ain't right. The math doesn't work out. As it would be, I went back and looked through all the deliveries on Friday, and I did not have a double or a stacked order. They were all singles. So my question is, on a stacked order, you get an order in. The base pay is $2 plus the tip. Then they stack on an order. Is that base pay $2, or is there no base pay because it's now, quote, a multiple order delivery? That'll be interesting to see. Okay, let's continue on with the email. Earn by time mode updates. Best for dashers who value more consistency. Peak pay on top. We recently introduced peak pay and earn by time mode. Peak pay will be on top of this guaranteed rate, and the new higher rate will be shown on your app before you dash. The 1 or 2 times that I've done earn by time, there was no peak pay. However, there has been peak pay in my market, and when I toggle earn by time mode, there it is represented. So that has been in my market. So if we're at $16 per hour earned by time mode in my market, and if there's a $1.50 peak pay, then that is represented in the offer that you see. That I guess, I mean, I haven't done it, but it is being represented on the screen that peak pay is included with the earn by time mode tab in my market. Continuing on, improved experience. We've made a number of updates to earn by time mode to help you increase the number of deliveries you get and improve your earn by time experience. We'll continue to make updates to this mode based on dasher feedback. As always, dashers in this mode will continue to earn at least the guaranteed hourly rate while delivering from the moment they accept an order until it's completed, plus 100% of any customer tips and any applicable promotions on top. Check your Dasher app for the current hourly rate in your area, which may change throughout the day. Which is interesting to know, and I have, toggled back and forth and seen the number one, that the peak pay is represented in the earn by time mode, and I have seen during certain periods where the earn by time mode hourly rate in my market, which is at 16, I think I saw it as high as 18 one time without peak pay. It was, that they toggled that in order to get more people out there dashing on earn by time. So, in my market, earn by time mode isn't really an option for me. I've tested it a couple times. The problem in my market is the restaurants are so densely packed and the residential areas are so densely packed that you can get jobs done in literally 15 to 20 minutes a great many of the time. There's not long waits. Hell, even Wendy's and Taco Bell in my area have, ramped up their efforts. We can get in, no more drive-through. The orders are ready real quick, if not ready already. When we get there, the only place that still sucks big is Wingstop. Don't ever go to Wingstop. Now, in the second paragraph there, improved experience. We've made a number of updates to earn by time mode to help increase the number of deliveries you get. Okay, that's really interesting because in my market, my experience, the couple times that I did earn by time mode, you are getting the bottom of the barrel, the no tip and the low tip orders. The 2 times that I experimented with earn by time, never had an order offer over $4 or $5. Never saw any of the $8, $9, or $10 offers. It was all bottom of the barrel. In fact, I remember the one time at high noon, I drove by a restaurant, parked in the parking lot, waited for a few minutes, didn't get one order from them, and I thought, okay, we're getting bottom of the barrel. There was an $8 order that just went out to another dasher a mile away while I was sitting right there in the parking lot. And I think the reason I didn't get it is because I was on earn by time mode, and that's bottom of the barrel stuff. Okay, so if earn by time mode in your market works because of long wait times, long delivery times, yada, 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 then the fact that they're going to be giving you more offers. Now, here's the thing, that's kind of scary. That means everything's going down. People are tipping less, blah, blah, blah. And that means that in certain markets, I could see earn by time mode being the go-to mode versus earn by order. Okay, so, you got to figure this out in your market and see which one will work for you. Let's continue on. More customer tipping moments. We know tips are rewarding and important to dashers, so we're improving the customer tipping experience to increase the likelihood of dashers receiving a tip. New, more ways to add a tip. In addition to adding a tip at checkout, customers can now tip up to 30 days after an order has been placed. You will be notified of any additional tips right in the Dasher app. New, emphasizing the importance of tips. We want customers to know how hard Dashers work and to recognize the quality of service they are getting. To help, we've introduced more in-app moments to customers that better emphasize the importance of tipping. This is great. In fact, I have seen this already in my market, as have several of the Dashers that I converse with on a regular basis. It's happened about 4 times in the last 7 work days for me. I complete a delivery, and then almost immediately, within 30 seconds or so, I get a text message, I think an email, and it shows up in the earnings that the customer has added to the tip. Now, it's only been a couple bucks here and there, but the people get the order. I think this is maybe people in certain aspects only putting in so much, and then if you look nice, use your insulated hot bag, show up on a timely basis, yada yada yada, they immediately go, okay, Dave delivered the order. They get that notification. There's also an option for them to increase or add to the tip right away, and that has happened 4 or 5 times, like I said, over the last 7 or so work days for me. One instance in particular was a $7 order, say from restaurant names, down to Huxley, a little small town about 8 miles south of us. Now, normally I would not take that order and take myself out of the algorithm, if you will. Even though Huxley's in the market, you're not going to get any orders down there. But and I'm in Speedwagon now, who's only getting half the mileage of Egg. But Huxley's Casey's gasoline store generally has gas for about 30 cents a gallon less than an Ames or my town of Nevada. So I thought, okay, I need to, I was like at half a tank on Speedwagon. I'll get some cheap gas. I'll earn $7 one way for a 16-mile round trip. And then I made that delivery, and then I wasn't even at the gas station yet when that customer added $2. So that ended up being a $9 order down to Huxley, cheap gas, and then back to Ames. One of the first times I saw this increase, it was about, say, a month ago, and it was a horrible heat wave, and a guy that was doing a driveway for somebody ordered up a case of water and a couple bags of ice from one of our grocery stores, and I went there and picked it up and then delivered it to him. Like I said, it was just hotter than hell, and he had one of those great big huge Gatorade drink coolers, so he threw a bunch of bottled water in that, and I was opening up the ice bag and I dumped it in there. It's just something that I did, just a little customer service, if you will. I know what it's like to be out there in the heat. I'm out there delivering, they're out there working on concrete, yada yada yada. I drove away a few miles and got an extra $5 from them. So this is good. More ways to add a tip and emphasizing the importance of tips. Not a lot of people are going to give a damn about this, but a few of them out there do, and that's a benefit to us. That's absolutely a benefit to us. Okay, continuing on with the email. Benefits to boost your earnings. New delivery streaks. Between now and October 24, earn an extra $11 when you complete 7 orders in a row when dashing between 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. local time. These earnings are on top of any tips, which are still 100% yours. Keep in mind, ending a dash or switching earning modes will reset your streak count. Okay, this streak challenge started on Wednesday, October 11th in my market. I was notified about it because I was on another catering job for my brother and was not logged on to the Dasher app, and he said, hey, what's this all about? And we discussed it a little bit. So it's pretty straightforward. You complete 7 orders in a row and you get $11 for those 7 orders delivered in a row. Pretty basic. So the other day I tried this. Now, me and my other Dasher friends were talking about it and going through the pros and the cons of it. And this is a lot like the incentives that I see on Walmart Spark Delivery, where you complete so many deliveries in a scheduled amount of time, yada, 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 and you get this, that, or the other thing as far as an amount. Well, what I did is I would divide that amount, okay? And like, okay, each order would be an extra $4. So if a $7 order came up on Walmart Spark, if I completed the challenge, I looked at that as an $11 order. But sometimes it just didn't seem to be worth the effort. So what I would do, my strategy on the Walmart Spark incentive that I have transferred over to the delivery streak incentive here on Doordash, is, you know what, if you get to 5 in a row just naturally, not even giving a damn about it, maybe make a little effort and do a little community service and pick up a 375 or a 475 that you normally might not do in order to fulfill the 7 order streak to get the $11. So I did this the other day, and I admit fully that I really tried. I took orders that I would normally not have. Anyway, at the end of the 7 order streak, it took me 1 hour and 45 minutes, I believe. I added up all of the orders that I completed in that 7 order streak, plus the 11, came out to $49 for that hour and 45 minutes, which I believe is around $27, $28 an hour. Not that bad, really. And then the other benefit, you know, keep an eye on my numbers and everything and wanting to be in the 70% club, if you will, those 7 in a row, probably about 4 of them, 3 to 4 of them I normally would not have taken, so I didn't take the hit there. It was a benefit in keeping my numbers where I want them to be, you know what I mean? Now, I do believe and feel, based on my experience, that the delivery streak challenge is a lot like earn by time. I think you're being pushed the bottom of the barrel stuff. You're not getting those really big orders. The highest pay order that I saw was $650. Everything else was like $5 or $450. So, you know, $455 going 3 miles. Normally I wouldn't do that, but I was looking at the $11. Just wanted to see what the numbers ran. And like I said, $49, 27 or whatever that was an hour. Not that bad really in the long run. Am I going to continue it up until the 24th? I think I'll go to my strategy that I'll just do what I normally do, and if I get to 5, maybe I will make an effort on the last 2. However, let's do the math. It took me 1 hour, 45 minutes to complete the 7 deliveries for the 7 delivery streak. That is 15 minutes average per delivery time that it took me to complete those deliveries. The delivery streak challenge started at 11 a.m. and goes to 2 p.m. Once I completed the streak of 7, there was only 1 hour, 15 minutes left until 2 p.m. Based on that 15-minute average delivery time for the first 7 that I did, there was no way I was going to get a second 7 done in the amount of time we were given. Okay, so you got to look at that. I was keeping in contact with one of my fellow Dashers, Will. He was only at 5 in the streak when I completed my 7, so he was 2 behind me. And he said, man, I've had some long waits and long delivery times. Okay, but he was getting some very, very good offers. He did have, I believe, a $12 double that anybody would have taken any time during that streak that he had, up to 5, and I think he did get to 7, but it may have taken him 2 hours. But he would have to do the math on his pay plus the 11 to find out how much that was total and, you know, hourly rate. I have not talked to him since then, but in any case, you can see that the time frame given, at least 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and then the evening is a 4-hour period of 5 to 9. You might be able to get 2 7 streaks back to back in that 4-hour period. But you know, but when this hits your market, you know, do the time math. You know, if you finish a 7 streak, much like I did, an hour and 45 minutes into the 3-hour window, you don't have enough time to complete the second 7 streak in that 3-hour window at 15 minutes average per delivery that I experienced. So do the clock math and figure out if there's enough time left to attempt a second 7 streak if you've completed one. And if there isn't, you know what, just go back to your regular strategy. All right, the last section of the email. New priority access to Dash Now. We're also piloting a new benefit, priority access to Dash Now. This means Dashers with high ratings will get prioritized for access for Dash Now. Take advantage of this benefit by maintaining a 50% acceptance rating and a 4.5 customer rating. All right, so it's official. Top Dasher is dead. If this pilot program is in your market like it is here in my market, 50% acceptance rating gets you Dash Now. It does say by maintaining a 50%, so you know they don't give a time frame like at the end of the month as per Top Dasher or whatever, you know. So I'm not exactly sure what they mean by that, but anyway, maintaining a 50% acceptance rating gets you priority access to Dash Now, which was the single benefit to being a Top Dasher at midnight at the end of the month. So right now in my market, like I said, I choose to try to be, to the best of my ability, at 70% or higher. That puts me in the top tier of priority access to quote high paying orders. I choose to do that, and it does work somewhat in my market. Earlier this year down in St. Louis, Pedro did a lot of experimentation with this 3-tier hierarchy, prioritized high-paying orders. At first it kind of worked, then it didn't, and then now it does. My experience is the exact same. The first part of 2023, I got up to 70%, and it was like, okay, I am kind of seeing the benefits of this. Then we had a little bit of a slowdown, and I crashed down to below 50%, and it didn't seem to make a difference. I was back to cherry picking. Then about the first part of the summer, as I mentioned, our summer slowdown was nowhere near as bad as years previous. I was just doing my normal strategy, picking good orders, looking at the mileage rate, yada, 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 and all of a sudden, bang, through no effort of my own, here I am at 70%. And I've been able to pretty much maintain that, like I said, 65 to 75, maybe as high as 80% acceptance rating. It's getting a little bit more difficult as time goes by the last couple weeks here. You know, there's peaks and there's valleys. The market changes every day. That's what I've said over and over again. If the people ain't buying, we ain't delivering. It has nothing whatsoever to do with Doordash pushing you orders. If there's no orders to push, you get nothing. If there's great orders, you get great orders. Okay, that's just the devil of the programs. So they got all of these little pilot programs in order to push you to get all the orders delivered. Well, that's their business, and I do not fault them at that. But right now, you've got to look at all these different programs. You know, there's the Platinum program in certain markets where any Tom, Dick, and Harry over a certain acceptance rate is all of a sudden eligible for LOP catering orders when it used to be before a very select few. I think that's in certain markets where there's high demand for catering. When you look at the cities, they're very large cities, and I think the reason they did that is to put the catering program, LOP program out there to any Tom, Dick, and Harry that meets the numbers, because they needed the people to make those catering deliveries. So they got a little bit of a stick and a little bit of a carrot, you know, in those larger markets with the Platinum and Gold and Silver program. But in any case, like I've said over and over again, you need to learn your market, know your market, and work your market. If you don't have a basic grasp of your market, you're going to be struggling. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot to figure it out. You know, I've got my market figured out pretty good. You know, a few weeks ago, we were bringing in 250 easy a day in 7-8 hours. Now we're struggling to get to 150 after 6 hours. You know, so the markets change. They fluctuate. It all depends on when the people have money and whether they're buying and having delivery. You know, and that's what you've got to learn and figure out to work to your benefit using the programs that Doordash puts out there, but also remembering that the reason Doordash has these programs out there is to get every order delivered. Look no further than this new streak incentive that they have, you know, getting 7 in a row. What's very interesting to me is I kind of liken this to peak pay. And if you look at it at peak pay, it's $1.57 on each order. $11 divided by 7 orders delivered, $1.57. You know, kind of look at that as peak pay. What's disturbing is here in my market where this is activated, it is during the heavy delivery times, what we would normally consider heavy delivery times. 11 to 2 lunch, 5 to 9 p.m. dinner time. DoorDash knows it's slow. Maybe they even have some insider information, if you will, knowing that a slow time is coming up, so they're trying to incentivize us to get out there and deliver all of these low-paying orders while giving us a little bit incentive and a little more pay to get it done. After they just slashed the base pay for a single order down to $2 from $2.75 and only $2 for a double. Whew, it's tough out there, kids. It's tough. All right, to wrap this up, I'll just repeat what some of the other big players have said over and over again. The longer you're in the delivery gig game, the better you got a handle on it, and you can change with the changes as they come, and don't let it get you down. Adjust your strategies and do the best you can. All right, guys and gals, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you can take something from this video and put it to use for yourself. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and hope to see you next time.